Welcome to the Nerds from Work, your weekly escape into the world of geeks, nerds, and people that don't have to say shit and create a shitstorm. Take notes, Captain Marvel. I'm a host, Jason Miller, and with me, as always, I've got Josh Tankersley.
I'm so confused where that came from.
Captain Marvel didn't break the internet, but Henry Cavill did.
Oh shit!
Bajay.
I thought we were switching names today. What's up?
No, you do not get to be Brandon Miller.
Really?
That's Brandon Miller.
I even tried to grow in a beard for this. I mean, check it out.
Brandon, if you wave, people on iTunes can't hear that.
Well, get it.
Wave with a little. Do something.
I can't do that.
All right, guys.
Did you just wave your lips?
Well, I guess we'll start off. We went to Dragon Con, right? We all met Charles McFall, Paul Klotz, Philip Keating, and it was real weird because in their panels, they're like, "Oh, the Nerds from Work showed up." Like they're stopping what they're doing to say like, "Oh, they showed up. This is so great. This is the best thing ever," only to go onto their podcast and act like, "Oh man, them motherfuckers, blah blah blah." Okay, so let's paint the story how it really happened. We walk in and they give us so much praise. They're giving high fives and shit. Like they were like, stop the panel, stop this shit. The Nerds from Work just showed up. Like they told me to come over and drop the fucking mic, so I did. Of course, you have to. But it was kind of like Naru. I mean, chime in a little bit. I mean, you were there.
Charles actually asked me to come up on stage with him. I'm like, yeah, no worry, you guys do your thing. Just have fun. Have fun.
Like they were asking to fill seats. They were just like, no, we'll kick people out. Just like, please, we need you.
Yeah.
You guys are so young and fresh
and diverse.
On fire.
And diverse.
Yeah. And having Naru on the panel made sure that it wasn't a whole bunch of white people up there.
Straight up. Latino quotient filled right here.
Who's Latino? Brandon's Asian.
Hello.
Yeah,
we had no idea.
We're poking fun
In
because
fact, now that you say that, I'm the only white dude on the panel. Well, Adam, but
true. You're the minority. How does that feel?
It's kind of cool actually.
No, it's not. Because we haven't really treated you like one.
Yeah, let's all treat Tank like the minority this episode.
Oh, yeah. We're so not going to go that direction.
Yes, we are.
That's a terrible place to go.
It is, right? Yeah.
All right, the minority, as in the people that wear bow ties, not regular ties.
Ooh, I do wear bow ties.
Shut up, Tank.
I do have bow ties. Bow ties are dope. Bow ties are
the minority, bro.
You contrast your bow ties with your beard every time you pick them.
I just I put a little dye on the end of my beard. The bow tie, yeah.
Red for the red.
No, no, that's weird. Now people are getting weird images. Tank does not tie his beard into a bow tie.
I wish
that we know.
So we do have a couple of things to announce. So today is Friday. And we've been bleeding that something is coming Friday. But if you've already clicked this,
you already know.
No.
Hell yeah.
We have a new logo where Brandon be working. So, yeah, we have a new logo. We're pretty stoked about that. And, I want to take a couple minutes just to talk about our original logo and kind of the process, how we got this far. I know it's kind of boring to the people that are listening, but it's actually like a really good thing. So, Tank, how do we start with our original?
Jason Googled basic logos, went to one site, and 10 seconds later we had a logo.
No. Actually, it's worse than that. Worse than that. I did look up basic logos, and we didn't like any of them. So I went to Paint, and I just put a red circle, and then just typed TNFW.
You did that in Paint?
Yeah.
I thought you did that on a website and actually.
I was pretty sure he did that in Paint. I was about to be impressed.
I already kind of missed the old logo now.
Yeah, we should definitely use the old logo and then say created in Paint underneath. That's way better than the new logo.
What we need to do is go on Fiverr, find one of those graphics guys to have our old logo just fade away. like Thanos snapped it away. Like,
that's a good idea.
Oh, that would have been good. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
it lasted us what, a year and a half ish.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
like a little over a year. Yeah.
amazing, right? Yeah.
so. I mean, but I have
This
to
shows
say,
how lazy we are, right?
I think we're a little more proud of the new logo.
Made in Paint is really cool. I'm just
What'd you say? Made in paint?
yeah, it's Made in Paint.
For a second, I thought you said made in penis.
I thought that
What?
too, and I started laughing. And I realized what he really said.
I actually specifically cut that part out so that we couldn't see
So wait, the new logo was made in what?
Illustrator.
Oh, we're stepping up in the world.
Adobe Cloud.
Ooh.
So
look at you, all cloud.
we rolled with the old logo for just over a year. And of course, Naru every single week is like, we need a new logo. What about a new logo?
Not wrong.
I
It's
was
not
right.
wrong. But annoying.
I was right.
Naru was like a fucking gnat at a barbecue, just bugging the fuck out of us. So, Bad Boys too. So
Eventually you slapped, and hey.
yeah. So we created a new logo, and we wanted to do it ourselves to kind of keep like true to what we do, and because we're cheap as fuck. And so the new logo is actually all four of us doing very awkward positions.
Speak for yourselves. I look good.
Yours is the most awkward, dude.
No, you're twerking.
What are you just like?
Dude, no, I'm that one bent over on the
Well, I'm
far
talking
left.
about Naru's just like standing there.
Oh yeah, yeah. If everyone else is doing cool shit and you're just standing, it's kind of.
That was my action. I was literally posing with the Winter Soldier in that.
Mine was an action pose.
No one knows who you were with in a silhouette.
Well,
You're
look at
just
the bright
standing there. You're just like this.
So
It's an action pose, man.
this is an
Which action? Like
Right.
Walking.
So
It was a superhero. It was my superhero poster pose. Get out of here.
Okay,
there's no
that's more
superhero.
than action.
Okay, I take
The
it back.
action of standing.
You guys had the action poses. Tank and I had the superhero action poses. superhero.
So
kinda
we're
funny.
sitting here- so as we're talking about, we all went through and found pictures for me to go in and like cut our silhouettes out of, and I'm like, and Jason and Brandon and Naru sent me ones like immediately, and I'm like, I have no idea. I'll just work on theirs and I'll figure it out later. All of a sudden, Naru sends me a picture from my Facebook from it was from a wedding 3 or 4 years ago. I'm like, Naru,
You did that shit at a wedding?
Yeah. It was me. It was me and the grooms. Me and the groom were both posing like that. Me and him are big DBZ fans. So
Dude, Adidas
That's
just
exactly
dropped
what I
the
wanna
Dragon
do.
Ball Z shoe.
The fucking Kamehameha.
do what?
Adidas just came out with a Dragon Ball Z collaboration.
Oh, yeah.
Majin Buu shoe?
Coming out where one's a Goku shoe and one's a Frieza shoe.
Dude, I've been seeing a bunch of that stuff come up. I don't know if any of it was actually real.
It is.
That's
Primitive Skateboards did a huge collaboration with Dragon Ball Z.
The Majin Buu shoes are the coolest.
Are
Yeah.
they sponsoring us yet? Did we get a free?
So yeah, we created this new logo that you guys see now. And
On the
it's
screen, right here in the middle of the screen.
right here.
You know,
Boom.
it's just put the logo on all our faces. Is that it?
That's gonna be it forever.
Good editing, Tank. Thanks
Or
for
just
editing
put the
that.
logo over Naru.
There you go.
I'm just gonna cover the entire screen with the logo. It's just gonna be us talking behind the logo.
And then when you don't do it and you're editing and people watch this on YouTube, they're gonna be like, "What a lazy fuck."
Yeah.
So the new logo actually represents us a lot better, we believe, because when we started, we really didn't know what this show was going to turn into or how we would evolve within the show.
If we would even keep doing the show.
Right. So hence paint. Right. So now we've upgraded to Adobe Illustrator.
Yeah, we
But
spent
also it's a better representation. So when you tell your friends about the show, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you should definitely tell your friends about the show. It kind of gives them an idea like, oh, this is actually a decent, this looks like something that might be humorous or might be something I'm into because this one dude's twerking.
Oh, and our new logo actually has a Deadpool reference in it. Ooh, everybody's confused. Look at that. Yeah.
The color scheme?
No. It has a guy who looks like he was drawn by a person who doesn't like feet.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so okay. Wow. Thanks.
Wow.
Like if you don't know who did it.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Naru just got cut out of the logo. I'm redoing it tonight before I go to bed.
So
There's only 3 silhouettes in the logo tomorrow. You guys all know why.
Along with the logo, we actually have something else to announce, and this is gonna sound real shitty.
Not really.
I mean, but kind of.
I don't think so.
Well, maybe not. We did create a Patreon. So we do have a $1 tier up right now. Tank, please tell them what comes in the $1 tier.
Oh fuck it. So the $1 tier.
Talking about Patreon. Shit. Bring up Patreon.
Shut up.
Fuck.
Don't give away the secrets.
Shit.
You're about to. So
Brandon's best representing Tank right now. I don't know what to do with my hands. Car drove real good. I like spaceship.
What did we change the password?
You could just put your hands down.
Oh my god.
Car felt real good. I like spaceship. Felt real good.
$1 tier. You got a picture of.
So
Tank.
we do have a Patreon.
I'm
And while
almost
Tank's
there.
looking it up to tell you guys what the $1 tier and $2 tiers will get you.
Nope.
The reason that we came up with a Patreon is because while this show is free on iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud, all of those different mediums,
I found it.
it's actually not free for us to produce. Guys, I'm trying to do something like fucking.
I know. Well, you should know that that's not going to go.
Brandon, in the background right now, I just want you to start singing. In the arms of the yeah. So keep going, Brandon. No, it's good.
Just play the actual song for the love of God.
So the show is not free for us to produce. So we want to keep producing. We want to keep putting content out for you guys, and in no way, shape, or form. Yeah. Everybody get your animals.
I'm not bringing my dogs into my basement.
So if you guys can, please donate to the show. It'll help us continue making the show so you can see Brandon put his fucking cat in the camera and sing Sarah McLachlan song or whatever. But
You almost got me.
we enjoy doing this show for you guys, but it's not free for us to produce, and we're doing this out of our own pockets, and we're doing these conventions, and we're trying to do all of this stuff for you guys, but we want to do more, and we want to make more episodes. We want to keep pushing the boundaries of podcasting, and I mean, to do that, we need better equipment.
Cost some moolah.
How are we ever going to record that podcast from the private jet? I mean, come on, guys.
It is very
right?
tough. We need to.
Shit. We don't even need a private jet. We just need a fucking rickshaw so we can get Brandon to Dragon Con next year.
For real.
Like, Brandon will ride a fucking rickshaw if we raise enough money.
If you have enough money, dude, just like get me a van that also I can camp in that will make it. I'm down.
It has to be a Volkswagen.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta say.
Yeah.
So-
video, the whole thing. That's podcast.
In Bumblebee color.
So, Tank, can you tell them where
Bumblebee Tuna?
to find the Patreon and
Bumblebee
that
Tuna.
details?
Yes, you guys can find us patreon.com/TheNerdsFromWork. Like Jason was saying, and I forgot to pull up before the show started, we have 2 tiers. We have a $1 tier. Every week we'll shout out one of the Patreons, and that we may add some more stuff. That right now you'll get a shout out on the show that goes up live, and then we have a $2 tier that will give you access to our private Discord server where I'm gonna say all 4 of us, even though we can't get Brandon to join into our like the show's private Discord server. But I'm going to say all 4 of us will be on there. You guys can go on there and talk with each other, talk to us, and have a good time. And, so just $1 a month will help
I
us.
don't like talking to you guys. I would talk to like other people though.
So,
Brandon's like, fuck you guys.
Just so we're clear about this, I thought there was like a $1 tier and a $20 tier. I guess I didn't read that right.
The
$20 tier was for Naru to twerk, but we took that off because there were multiple votes against that.
Yeah, people just we actually got like some hate mail about it. It was really weird.
Yeah. Like the Better Business Bureau threatened to shut us down.
Like, if he twerks, you should give us money.
Down.
Exactly.
So,
like we were actually losing money.
I just wanted to say that is very uncalled for. If Brandon can twerk, so can I.
So I do want to add something to the $2 tier. So if you guys donate to the $2 tier and you comment in the Discord in our private chat and you give us the best line, the most outrageous best line of the week by Wednesday, you will get a shout out not only on the show, but in the intro, we will say whatever that crazy shit is, we will say it. But of course, we get to vote which one's the best.
I got.
And we got to do it in epic
You
voice.
guys would have asked me in the Discord. I got so many good cheer ideas. Like best Photoshop of our faces. That's number one. Like that
But
one.
dude, you don't answer any questions in the Discord. Just saying.
Okay, so if you do $2, right, and you join in our Discord, if you post crazy fucking pictures, Tank will put them in the center of the show.
Right in the middle of all this.
Right in the fucking middle on YouTube.
So
we may have to blur some things out, but yeah.
And we will post them on Twitter and Instagram if you can Photoshop our faces and shit.
It's what the people want.
Tank. In the arms of the angel, far away. Just put a picture here.
I feel bad for Tank, man. I feel bad for Tank. Think about what's going to happen when we start going to a daily show.
Dude, don't even play. Don't even play.
If we, you know what? If we get 1,000 people to donate $100 a month, we will do a fucking daily show.
Oh shit, yeah.
Fuck yeah, we will.
Absolutely.
How much money is that? Let me talk to my account.
How much is $100?
I'll talk to my manager.
1,000?
By his accountant, he means Alex. He's like, shit, hey.
Straight up.
Yeah.
That's 1.2
All right,
million.
so
Man.
that's enough of us crying and trying to get your money. But if you look at it like this, right, $1 a month, you get a shout out. You support us. You support the show. You keep the show coming, and we won't fire Naru. And I mean that's fucking $12 a year, right? That's like what? 2 trips to fucking Taco Bell for a Cravings deal now when you supply the hard shells for soft shells when you're at a franchise and not the corporate office because they charge $10 more for soft shell instead of hard shell. So, I mean, fucking 2 Cravings deals a year? Shit.
We still can fire Naru though, right?
That's in talks.
Okay.
Nah, just fucking with you, Naru. You know we love you, bro.
I'm going to just pull that same move up, just drag my phone up.
Everything's backwards. Don't.
Naru, you know we love you, bro.
Camera.
All right, guys. So let's get into let's get out of this Sarah McLachlan shit and let's actually talk about what we came here to talk about.
Which is this.
I thought that was it.
If you guys
This fucking thing right here.
this right here. If you guys are on iTunes.
Like this, that looks fucking stupid.
Here we go.
Right? Like out of the black shirt, like
Ooh. Oh, I got to go get my action figure.
all right. So if you guys are listening to iTunes, you heard me mention it at the beginning of the show. And I'm gonna start it like this. Captain Marvel posted last week. What's her name? The lady?
Brie Larson.
Brie Larson. Yeah, Brie Larson posted last week on the show I wasn't on because that shit was dumb. She posted last week, oh, let's break the internet.
How
She
do we
didn't
mute
really
Jason
break
right
the
now?
internet. I mean, that's like if Babe Ruth like pointed and then hit like a fucking single, right? Like
They broke the internet enough.
I mean, it was big. It was pretty big news.
It wasn't broken.
But
But
let's talk about the thing that broke the internet with no fucking push from an actor. Henry Cavill and Superman.
Henry Cavill exiting Superman.
Right. But he isn't. But he is. But he isn't. But
Yeah.
Who knows?
I think that dude. That's so. If you guys are on iTunes, you need to go Google Henry Cavill's response video to all of this that he put on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking hilarious.
so let's get to the response video last.
Okay.
Because that came last. And to me, that is like the solid nail in the coffin.
Okay.
End of discussion to the whole thing.
Very prepared for the show.
Today we were talking about a few different topics for the show, and Naru dropped a fucking A-bomb
Boom!
saying you guys need to right now look at this article posted by CBR.com as Henry Cavill leaving the DCEU.
Okay,
So-
you have your mind fixed on CBR, like surreal.
Dude,
Like,
I love CBR.
I know you do.
Wherever you found it from, CBR did it first.
I'm
So-
a professional. I focus on THR, baby.
You focus on TMZ.
That's what I thought he was about to say. I was like, what?
That's what I told my wife. My wife's like, yeah, I read it on TMZ. I was like, the fuck?
Really?
Yeah, Henry Cavill broke the fucking internet. So
It was on TMZ.
yeah, it was on TMZ.
Nice.
So it came out with a story saying that Henry Cavill was leaving Superman for from the DCEU because of him just getting cast as the Witcher role for Netflix. So it was a conflict of interest, not that he didn't want to be Superman, but it was a conflict of interest and he wouldn't be able to do it. But DC was also looking at possibly casting someone else as Superman, either Michael B. Jordan or going with a female character to cast Supergirl to write Superman out of the DCEU. So there was this huge fucking conspiracy about why Henry Cavill wouldn't return as Superman.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right?
Which is cool though. Right.
Well, so that threw up red flags all over the place, which to me is kind of awkward because people hate all of his movies.
That is true.
Back up.
The internet as a whole.
Back up.
The internet as
All
a
of his
whole.
movies?
I love
Superman.
no, his Superman movies. Him
Okay.
as Superman.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Henry Cavill as Superman. He is my Superman. Like
Agreed.
that dude's a fucking man.
Man of Steel is my favorite Superman movie.
Me
It
too.
It's
was the
so
only one
good.
I actually sat through.
It's so good.
Technically, it's the only Superman movie.
So
Yeah, that he did, right?
Yeah.
well, Henry Cavill
I'm
to
saying
me,
it's my favorite Superman movie of all.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
technically they never gave him a chance to do a second one.
But say
So-
Batman v Superman was a
yeah.
Batman movie featuring Superman.
Well, it was supposed to be a
He was-
Superman movie featuring Batman.
I
but
know what it was
Batman is
supposed
the
to do.
Iron Man of DC. So
Yeah.
And then Justice League was the
He was dead half the
Justice
movie.
League, and and Superman's the MacGuffin, shows up and just
so
Yeah.
but it's funny to me that this caused such a bigger reaction than the Captain Marvel thing when no one like the Ben Affleck as Batman is like, yeah, it's kind of whatever. Like he's not going to be Batman anymore. Okay, whatever. Like everyone kind of accepted that. But Henry Cavill leaving Superman when people hated the Man of Steel. I love the Man of Steel. People hate Batman versus Superman. I like Batman versus Superman. And people hate the Justice League. So why would they be upset?
Because
Hiccup.
the internet is collectively a 6-year-old little girl who doesn't know what she wants.
oh
And
come on. You're giving the
They're
internet.
upset.
I generally agree with that, but you're giving the internet a little bit too much of a hard time. Like,
The
let's be
internet
honest.
is upset at
Okay,
me.
question. If they announce tomorrow, right, that or before season 2 came out, if they announced that the Iron Fist actor, he's
Finn
gone.
Jones.
Finn Jones
Dude,
is gone.
I don't even want to get into that because you guys didn't watch it. And for a second, I thought he was done after season 2.
Okay,
I watched all of Iron Fist.
but the point I'm making is after season 1, if the announcement was he's done, that character's done, everybody would have been like,
I don't.
same thing happened with the Inhumans. The Inhumans are gone. Nah. This just shows that honestly, people may not have really everybody universally liked the movies, but no one had a problem with the guy, the guy playing the role. It's that simple. The world,
I'd agree with that.
they liked him. They liked him as Superman. It works.
Yeah, I don't think it was an actor problem of why people didn't like the movies. I think it was a movie problem of why.
Exactly. So that's the thing. They liked the guy. They just that's why people kept giving it a chance. Fix the movie. They liked the characters. In fact, let's be honest. The actors all knocked it out the park. The casting choices were good. Ezra Miller, maybe not, but yeah, the casting choices were great.
Again, I don't blame that on Ezra Miller. I think
I
they
love it.
wrote that character really weird.
Yeah, I like Ezra Miller. I've seen him in other things. He's great. I just think, honestly, if you ask me, did they make good, smart choices with casting? Yes.
As
For
a
what they
job.
wanted to do, it worked. So, and probably none smarter than Henry Cavill after looking at the body of his work. I mean, they gave him nothing to work with. Let's be honest, man. he had nothing to work with. So
Henry Cavill, I think, does a great job as Superman because he creates a Superman that I actually want to watch. So I know that Naru and I go back and forth on Iron Man and Captain America all the time. Like, that's our argument.
Mhm.
But I have never once sided with Superman ever. Like, I don't like Superman. And I know that Naru likes the Green Lantern and Superman, and he's trying to get me
The
to read-
characters, not the movies. Back
Right.
up.
Yeah. In the comic books.
Make
The
that
comic books.
distinction. Thank you.
And Naru has tried to get me to read Superman, and I'm like, I don't like it. And he's like, no, but they've really changed the character. And I'm like, nah, don't like it.
We're jaded.
But Henry Cavill was a Superman that I can get behind.
Mm.
Like, oh, he's actually flawed. Like, he's got the dark, like, brooding.
Yeah.
Like, there's something wrong with him, and he feels like a misfit.
He's wrestling through something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you guys watch the Justice League Unlimited TV show?
I
Yeah.
watched some of it.
So, there's an episode. I'm pretty sure it's it may be the series finale when he's talking to who's the Omega guy, Darkseid, and he's literally like giving this like little monologue about how to him like our world is made of paper. And like how he has to walk on eggshells, and like if he like sneezes the wrong way, he could literally like blow up the planet. And like when I heard him say that, it's just like I never thought of it from that point. And so ever since I saw that, I was like, okay, I give Superman way more credit because I was kind of with Jason. I was like, whatever, big boy Blue Scout. Shit, I do that every time. Big blue Boy Scout.
Big boy Blue Scout. I'm a blue
Yeah, exactly. So, but ever since I heard that monologue, I was like, oh my god, that makes so much sense now, and I had like that much more respect for the character. And I thought Henry Cavill, as an actor, did as best as he could with what he was given for those movies.
The only time I sided with Superman, which I didn't agree with what he did, but I was like, oh, this makes the character really interesting. Besides Henry Cavill Superman, was in the not Teen Titans, was it?
Young Justice.
Young Justice, when he like
I love that show.
is like being an ass to Superboy,
Boy.
who's like kind of trying to get him to be a dad, like a father figure, and he's like
no.
Flies off. I'm like, look, that's like the flawed Superman, and that's what I like.
Also, I know it's not like canon at all, but if you guys ever played Injustice, Superman in Injustice, so fucked up.
Which is what a lot of people thought this DCEU was going to be because of the Batman.
It was clearly going to
Superman.
have some influences from there. It was. It clearly was. Have you guys seen Injustice 2? Have you read the Injustice 2 the books yet? No.
I haven't read it, but I have played the video game.
I'll tell you this right now. Tom Taylor and the guys behind Injustice 2 are psychopaths. Like they mess with you every which way. There's parts where I literally stop and I have to wipe a tear away because it's like, man, everybody, it's crazy. I'm not gonna spoil anything, just do that. But I will say this about Superman: what Tank said is so true. I always felt like the reason why he's so contained and has to be so cheerful is because he can't afford to lose it.
Right.
This guy could literally go. How many times have you gone, what? He couldn't do that. Like he could literally do this and cause a whirlwind. You know what I'm saying? His power set is so huge. He has to be in control, and because of that, I think generally speaking, he comes off as just having to be super nice.
I feel like the DCEU Superman was good because his power set isn't that strong.
That's another thing.
He struggled like helping a boat out of the water.
But Henry Cavill's Superman is not OP.
Yeah, that's what
that's
I'm saying.
just OP.
But also he is so flawed. Like,
yeah,
I hate to,
is he really?
Yeah, but like it's like Deadpool. Like, you're so dark. Like, are you sure you're not a DC character? Like, even
I don't think
fucking
he's
dark.
flawed. I thought he was confused. That's what he's conflicted. Like, Flawed
like
is
in
kind of harsh.
Man of Steel, right? Like
Yeah.
he leaves, which is something that Superman never fucking did. Like Superman went to Metropolis, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna be a reporter, put on my glasses. But in Man of Steel, he's like, nah, I'm done. I'm gonna be a logger. I'm now working on an oil rig. Like I'm doing all of these things to just get away. And I loved it. I loved that scene in the movie.
I actually thought those whole sequences were like a guy who wants to help people but doesn't want to be remembered. Like I did this.
He was like he was trying to escape, and then it was just like super dangerous scenarios where something happened, and then he had to leave after.
With great power comes great responsibility.
So
Wrong
okay,
universe.
yeah, from there, it has been announced that like Warner Brothers came out and said that Henry Cavill is not leaving. Like he has made no plans to leave.
That's
his agent has said that his cape is still in the closet.
yeah, that was a very interesting way to put it.
Like in no way, shape, or form did Henry Cavill say anything like that. It was someone, like we said, however many weeks ago, saying something and just creating an uproar.
Yeah, but here's the
on
thing,
the
though. Here's the thing, though. Why did this gain so much traction? If this had just taken off on Screen Rant or Humberto Gonzalez or some other person at the Wrap, the reason it took off was because it was the Hollywood Reporter. This is like the official the Hollywood Reporter, Deadline. Those guys break legitimate stories all the time. So the fact that those guys broke the story is why everybody ran with it. And then about 2 whole hours go by, nobody says anything, and then Danny Garcia, who's actually The Rock's ex-wife, comes online and says he's still in this, so take it easy. And even the way she says it is like she's not really committing. She's like, he still has the cape in his closet. Everybody, be at peace. She says, be at peace. I'm like, are you kidding me? What kind of phrasing is this? So the whole thing was just weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Like weird.
The phrasing of the cape in the closet doesn't, like, to me, that wasn't the nail in the coffin.
The whole be at peace, not a categorical official pronouncement. Like,
yeah,
yes, this
it was not a yes, he's still Superman. You have nothing to worry about. You know, it was like, okay, cape in the closet. Like, he hasn't given it up yet.
I'll tell you what I really think. I think that they were going to do it, and somebody spilled the beans early, but she's got clout. She's got stuff she's working on because she's got The Rock in her corner. So she's like, she tells Warner Brothers, hey, what you guys doing? We need an announcement about this. And Warner Brothers gives the most non-committal statement I have ever read from a major studio, which says he's not, we're not making any decisions. We still have a good relationship with him. I'm like,
that's kind of like what her tweet or whatever the fuck it is also like alludes to, right? It's like if something is in the closet, technically he's not wearing it, but it's not thrown away.
Right.
So it's like, if they are still in these like negotiations, they could say, okay, we're negotiating it. If it works well, then he will wear the cape again. If it doesn't, it's going to Goodwill or whatever. That's kind of what like the symbology.
I think there might be a push-pull at Warner Brothers. Some people want him out. After everything that happened,
what you're looking for.
Yeah, pretty much. Everything that happened today would probably make Warner Brothers say, let's rethink.
So there's so much backlash. I think he'll be fine. But the whole cape in the closet thing was a very, very key choice of words. It was not like, oh no, we're good. Like Brandon said, like it's maybe.
Because you do take off your cape to hang it in the closet.
Right, exactly. Like you take it off, you hang it in the closet, and if you don't wear it for 6 months, you get rid of it. Like, but the key in the last nail in the coffin, the key to the whole thing was something that Henry Cavill posted literally 20 minutes before we started recording this episode, where he posted a tweet, and it's him wearing a Krypton lifting team shirt with no beard, by the way. He didn't have a beard.
Very little.
And he just raised a Superman action figure of himself and lowered it back down with no facial expression whatsoever. And to me, and what the the post was, "What an interesting day." #Superman.
Oh man.
It was so. What was the music that was playing?
It's something weird.
Well, I'm not even gonna try to guess what that was. I
It
mean,
was hilarious.
Bop.
Yeah, it was like some classic, but it was so awkward for the scenario. But it was funny. Like, yeah, Naru's got it up right now. But he's wearing a Krypton lifting team shirt, so you know he wasn't wearing that all day. You know he went and like put it on,
and he's holding the action figure.
and he's holding an action figure of himself as Superman. And the post just says, "What an interesting day, #Superman," which to me says that he had nothing to fucking do with any of it. He's just like, it was weird to watch how everything just kind of like was this roller coaster all day of people being angry that I'm not going to be Superman anymore.
It could be one of those. Oh, go ahead, Brandon.
Here's a weird twist. What if he didn't even know that he was in like contract negotiations with them? Like nowadays, like,
To be fair, you're right.
yeah, at least like athletes and stuff. Like a lot of very professional people, their managers do everything, and his manager spoke out before he did anything. Like technically, his manager and Warner Bros. Could have been trying to work a new angle to where he makes more money, but he's got so many things lined up. He didn't even know it was happening, or it was at the stage it is currently at. And then someone heard something from, a secretary in Warner Bros. Or something, and then they leaked something, and he's like, holy shit, I didn't even know I was like up for a fucking raise.
I'll tell you this much. The one thing that they were working on that most people knew about was they were working on having him have a cameo at the end of Shazam. And that would have been just amazing.
But he couldn't do it because obviously The Witcher.
Nah, I mean, they were going to do the cameo. That wasn't, to be honest with you.
He didn't do it, did he?
No, he didn't accept to do it. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
The reason you check 3 different websites, you're going to get 3 different reasons why the talks broke down.
That's the problem, right? It's a game of telephone. Like someone probably could have heard that he was not going to be Superman in Shazam, and they said, holy shit, he's not going to be Superman. Told, the inside source told it to someone else, and they're like, oh, let's put out the story that he's no longer going to be Superman. And it could just be a game of telephone, and he had no clue that this was even
I think it's a game of telephone with multiple people, because if you read the article, it's literally
that's how telephones play.
people.
How did you play telephone as a kid?
No, my point is you can
They went out and
I'm talking like imagine
him like just yelling at his echo, and the echo is like singing it back wrong.
Man. Imagine one person listening to 2 different people, because in the same article, there's literally 2 different sources. One person says, okay, this is what happened, and they couldn't do it because he's going to do The Witcher. Another person said, well, he chose to do The Witcher because they said he couldn't do it.
So there are a lot of what ifs, but to me, the craziest part is that they went from this point to automatically jumping to Michael B. Jordan.
That's
that was just clickbait.
And that was something that someone created.
Mm-hmm.
Michael B. Jordan never said that shit. No one ever said that shit. And it was just like there. And like it has so many views, but he's not gonna be Superman.
Let me okay. Long time ago, 90s, whenever the hell it was, 80s, I don't know, back when Naru was 50. Superman dies, and they create clones of Superman, and then there are multiple Supermen and like Superboy and all this stuff. If Michael B. Jordan was Superboy, though, and Superman didn't come back, and the new cast of Supermen, because he died, were all these different clones and all these different iterations of Superman, that would be sick.
But Superman did come back.
How do you clone a black
guy? Did he come back in the
That's just...
No. So what happened? Did you read The Death of Superman?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he came back eventually.
No. I'm not talking about Brandon.
He's talking about the cloning.
Naru was saying, how do you clone Superman and get like a black Superboy?
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, how do you do that?
So it actually just went to so Young Justice Superboy is a clone, but the original was just a dude. That's why he wears the leather jacket and the
original
sunglasses.
The original.
No, it wasn't a clone. It was a dude because it went to Steel. Because the power split 5 ways.
No, it was a clone. Come on, man. That kid was a clone.
What about Steel?
Yeah, so how did Steel get it?
Steel was a regular guy who had been saved by Superman on a construction site one time, and he decided he was actually a runaway scientist who didn't want to work in military.
Oh, he has powers.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have any powers. He
Yes,
just
he
went
does.
and built a suit. That's what he did. He built a big metal suit.
And the death of Superman.
There's 4 Superman that showed up. The Cyborg Superman.
Red, blue, Steel,
The
Superboy.
Cyborg Superman. Superboy was a clone of Superman himself, and Lex Luthor. What's his face? The black guy, Steel, was actually a scientist who built a suit in honor of Superman. And then you had the Eradicator, which was a Kryptonian intelligence that showed up and tried to rejuvenate Superman, and actually did bring him back to life.
Regardless, same clones can be made to not look like people.
I didn't say it couldn't. All I was thinking was, wow, how would they do that? That was my question. Like, how would they do that, though? That would be interesting. How would they clone a black guy out of a white guy? That would be an interesting leap. It's not impossible. I mean, let's be honest. First of all, Superman, the clone, was a mix of 2 different DNA. So all they'd have to say was they cloned him from Superman and some other specimen. That's it.
Yeah.
Because the clone was not as strong as Superman.
They used frog DNA to close the gaps.
Superman Rex or Supermanosaurus Rex or something.
Really, they only held the bits of DNA that had Superman's powers and left everything else to chance.
Oh crap! Yeah. Or you could have a T-Rex with lasers, heat vision.
I don't know. I would like Michael B. Jordan as Superman more than T-Rex.
I'll tell you this much though. Initially, when I heard that story, I thought, "What?" And I read one lady said, "But let's be honest. Anything that comes out of Warner Brothers, they almost always think, yeah, Michael B. Jordan's name gets attached to almost anything they do there, apparently." So I thought, okay.
At the time, but he kind of gets attached to everything now, right?
That's the point. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, dude's huge.
Oh.
But he's in.
There is a black Superman, Val Zod.
All right. Deep dive, wrong way. Anyway,
that's not even the rabbit hole.
Cavill did not say anything about not being Superman. I even found myself over here doing other shit. We were so deep. I was too deep. So Henry Cavill never said that. We don't know exactly what happened, but what we do know is that all of the news that Henry Cavill is no longer Superman is false at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time of this recording,
it's refuted.
He's still Superman.
So I would like to point out for the court recorder that this is. I'm just not realizing this isn't real news. I thought he was actually out. So can we rewind and have this conversation again? Because I totally thought he was actually done.
Honest to God.
So are you happy or sad?
This is not over.
It doesn't really bother me either way, because to me, DC, I don't know, DC, and I'm a DC fanboy. When it comes to when you look at Marvel characters versus DC characters, I like DC characters better. I just don't really like anything they've done in the DCEU, with the exception of Wonder Woman. So
I like a few things.
I mean, of the characters we've gotten so far, my favorite superhero the first superhero from the comics would have been Flash, and they did Ezra Miller as Barry Allen, except it was nothing like Barry Allen. He was this super clumsy, doesn't know, they made him too dumb, and it pissed me off. And so, to me, Gal Gadot's the only saving grace the DCEU has, and it sucks because when we were talking about casting for Suicide Squad, I thought. Right. Will Smith and Margot Robbie and even the dude who played the military guy. I can't think of his name. Not Rick Flag, but
Rick Flag.
I think,
not Rick Flag.
It's not Rick Flag, but it's definitely not Ric Flair. But anyway, you guys know him so much. The casting was great for that movie, and it just didn't work. But I don't know. I mean, if he stays, if he doesn't stay, I don't really care.
It's crazy because Justice League was the movie that kind of semi-ruined Batman for me, because I really liked him in Batman versus Superman, although I thought the whole Martha thing was just dumb. But I really did feel like Wonder Woman was awesome. Cyborg was great. I would give the Flash a pass for that representation of the character, but I just thought it was a little weird. and definitely, just those three for me. Wonder Woman, Cyborg.
Cyborg was a character who didn't get enough screen time.
Well, did he not get enough screen time? I mean,
No,
he was supposed to have more. I get that, but
he didn't have enough at all. So they could have dug deep on that character. But we're not talking about the rest of the Justice League. We're talking about Superman, and that conversation is done.
Pretty much run its course.
So, hey guys, we appreciate you guys sticking around this long, listening to us with our Sarah McLachlan, and listening to us do Sarah McLachlan again when we thought we were going to lose Superman. So, with that being said, Tank, tell them where to find you.
Yep, you guys can find me all over the internet at The Caped Critic. Hope you guys enjoy the new logo. Make sure you check us out, patreon.com/TheNerdsFromWork.
I was going to do that.
Well, I'll let you do it next time. I'm excited. So I hope you guys will come back next week. We've got we have at least one more episode with Chris Jackson to come out, and then well, who knows? Maybe we'll do some more other D&D stuff with other DMs. Who knows? Maybe. You never know.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Maybe.
Naru, tell them where to find you.
Yeah, you can find me at Patreon/TheNerdsFromWork.
How dare you? How dare you?
No, you can't.
Really?
I will mute that out.
Okay.
That's very serious. It's not a real thing.
I'm sorry. You can find me at patreon.com.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant I didn't put .com. My bad. Sorry. You can find me at the Niger Nerd everywhere on social media.
All right.
Jason wants to kill
We've
me.
been waiting on it.
Here we go.
Where can they find you, buddy?
Here we go.
I'm not sure which small area of the human population this actually covers, but you can find me on Clover at bmiller425.
What
I
is
don't know if it's like an Irish thing or what.
Hurry, Naru, Google it so we can see what it is.
All right. And you can find me at Houdini0333 on Twitter and Instagram. Hey, you guys can find all of us at Nerds From Work on Twitter and Instagram. You can find us at The Nerds From Work on YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes.
And Patreon.
If you guys are going to follow us on iTunes, YouTube, or SoundCloud, please follow, subscribe, like, and if you like us, hit that bell. If you hit the bell, that should also lead you to our Patreon, which is patreon.com/nerds, The Nerds From Work, all one word. So if you do that, go ahead, hit that $1 or $2 subscription and get a shout out on the show. On that note, guys, and from all of us here at the workplace, peace.
I gotta say this. Clover lets you order a date like you would a burrito.
It's my kind of date.
On-demand dating, baby. That's what
Taco
it is.
Bell.
Taco date.
Okay. Well,